Hi, welcome to Ask the Mortgage Expert. Today we're going to be speaking about how to buy a foreclosed home. This is going to be volume 1 of 7 because I want to try to keep the video short and sweet. Now, anytime you're looking to buy a home, whether it be a short sale, a foreclosed home, whatever it may be, it's an exciting and sometimes overwhelming process to find and purchase a home. You need to ensure the home purchase is right for you and that you have a seasoned real estate agent to help you along the way. It's key and essential to know what you're doing because this is a big investment. So that real estate agent will guide you through the process. If you need to, I can recommend one if you don't have one already or one hasn't been recommended to you already. If you're house hunting, considering buying a foreclosed home, also called a real estate owned property or an REO, you need to understand that this is a property, it's owned by a lender, and as a result of the previous owner defaulting on the loan is now owned by the bank. So this foreclosed property or bank-owned property is a foreclosure or an REO. So how do you buy a foreclosed home? Two common ways of buying a foreclosed home are through a real estate agent or through a public auction. Now, there's many factors to consider when buying a foreclosed home compared to a traditional home. REO properties are an affordable housing option, but there are also more things to watch for. This type of home purchase, you need to be guided to better understand the steps involved in buying this type of a home. So a foreclosed home, will increase your likelihood of success in finding one that's right for you by using that realtor, by doing your due diligence, by checking out the area, and so on and so forth. So the differences between a typical real estate transaction and the purchase of an REO property is negotiating the purchase price of a foreclosed home may take a little longer than a typical real estate transaction. As a matter of fact, it will take a little longer than a real estate transaction. Now, because this process requires multiple levels of approval, you have to understand that first the bank will have to approve the offer. In some cases, an investor may own the property and will have to provide approval as well. Pricing for a foreclosed home is typically set at the market value in an effort to move the property quickly. You'll want to submit a fair and reasonable offer, as most banks will list properties at a fair price, they say. There are several considerations to keep in mind when purchasing an REO property. Unknown property condition. Given that the bank has not maintained or had first knowledge of the foreclosed home prior to acquisition, there may be no record of any type of repairs or maintenance that would assess the true property condition. As a result, the bank is often unable to verify the condition of the property or complete a seller's disclosure. Buyers are allowed and encouraged to complete professional home inspections on any property. So that's something that you need to really take into account. You want to get an inspector in there and an engineer report. Now, as with the typical real estate transaction, out-of-pocket expenses can occur before and after an offer to purchase a property has been submitted. These out-of-pocket expenses may include lender-required documentation, such as an appraisal, the home inspection, and a bank-required minimum earnest money deposit. Earnest money is a good faith deposit demonstrating your ability to be able to buy that property and your interest in the property. This is also an indicator of how much money will be deposited as your down payment. Now, prior to closing, you should work with an agent to coordinate the date on which this possession may take place, because title issues may be discovered during the closing process and will need to be addressed and resolved along with the completion of all necessary paperwork to support the transaction. An extension of the closing date may be requested by the seller if these issues cannot be resolved quickly or by the contract close date. Now, because of this, the buyer should allow adequate time after the scheduled contract close date to schedule movers, furniture deliveries, utilities, etc. So it's key that you know and essential that you know all of these things. On the next one, we're going to speak about how do you qualify and how do you go about actually obtaining the foreclosed property. But like I said, I wanted to keep it short and sweet. Give me a call, 718-869-4795 if you need any more information. Have a great day.